Hey, welcome to my live. Welcome to my channel. Like, share, subscribe, share the video. The number of likes put me in the algorithm. So let me do this. And right now we're going to talk about what's been going on in the world this week. Hold on, let me go here. Oh, I'm gonna have to share screen. I think this is it. I think this is it. I'm new to this, y'all. So this week, Russia is doing military drills over in Cuba, 90 miles away from Florida. So that's interesting. And they have the hypersonic missiles that they're doing military drills on. However, also, but Putin said he ready to have a truce, and he's been saying this. But yet again, this decrepit Alzheimer's, dementia person, they just want to giving him a $50 billion loan now. What are they hiding? All the trafficking of children, because Ukraine more corrupt than Mexico, and that's a fact if you do the research. Russia says the U.S. doesn't have any reason to worry about the nuclear submarine and the massive warships its navy has cruising off the coast of Cuba. The Kremlin has said that its navy vessels stationed off of Cuba pose no threat. The submarine and navy frigates sailed there for military exercises in the Caribbean. Russia assurances come despite the fact that the vessels are some of Moscow's most lethal assets. So is Russia just trying to send a message that we can hit you, we can get real close to you, and we can just hit you, and we can invade because the United States is so done. especially since Saudi Arabia has dropped the dollar, baby. That dollar ain't, and if you go to other countries now, they don't see, they don't want it. So you better have your little gold, little silver. And what I just found out that was really cool that you can get international money orders. You better take them with you. I think I'm gonna get a whole lot of those, but you can get international money orders. And of course, if you have Bitcoin, some cryptocurrency, you can use that as well. But anyway, the arrival of powerful missile capable naval assets in Cuban waters should not set off alarm bells, they say. So it pulled into Cuba Havana on Wednesday, head ahead of air military exercises in the Caribbean, along with two other vessels. These Russian Navy assets were scheduled to be stationed in Cuba for a 5-day visit. And the Cubans are able to go aboard. They charge them, but they're able to go aboard and see these submarines and everything. So they making money as well. This is a normal practice for all states, including such large maritime power as Russia, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov told reporters. So we don't see any reason to worry about this. Russia's reassurances that the vessels in Cuba pose no harm come in spite of the fact that they are some of Kremlin's most lethal military assets. Also in Cuba is Abner Gorsakov, Russian frigate, which is armed to the teeth with Putin's prize Zircon scramjet powered hypersonic cruise missiles. I think they just showing their power that they can get us if they want to. The weapons which the Kremlin claims are unbeatable are relatively new in Moscow's arsenal. In a press conference on Tuesday, Pentagon Press Secretary Sabrina Singh said that the Department of Defense is monitoring the situation but is not anticipating any threat from the warships. Again, I think what's important here is that what Russia is doing in these exercises, they don't pose a threat to the United States. But of course, we're going to monitor. The arrival of the ships is largely seen as a flex by Russia to compensate for its major losses in the Black Sea. In April, Ukraine said that it used drones, missiles, and other weapons in its arsenal to destroy many Russian warships. And while U.S. officials may be quick to say there's no immediate threat, the Los Angeles class USA Helena attack submarine U.S. attack submarine sailed up to Guantanamo Bay about 500 miles away from the Russian vessels on Thursday. See, I didn't know that we sent a ship out there as well on Thursday. I didn't know that. Shortly after Russia's Kazan sub showed up. The U.S. Southern Command said in a statement on X Thursday that the sub was there as part of a routine port visit. Bullcrap. Bullshit. Representative for the U.S. Southern Command and Russian Defense Ministry didn't immediately respond to a request for a comment from Business Insider sent outside regular business offers. I think they just flexing. Now that's what I think to show their power. This is what I want to get into. Putin pledges truce if Ukraine exits Russia's occupied areas and drops NATO bid. Non-starters for Kyiv. Russian President Vladimir Putin promised Friday to immediately order a ceasefire in Ukraine and begin negotiation in Kyiv, started if Kiev started withdrawing troops from the four regions annexed by Moscow in 2022 and renounced plans to join NATO. Ukraine responded by calling Putin's proposal manipulative and absurd. Putin's remark came as Switzerland prepared to host scores of world leaders, but not from Moscow this weekend, to try to map out first steps toward peace in Ukraine. They also coincided with a meeting of leaders of the Group 7, leading industrialized nations in Italy. And after the US and Ukraine this week also signed a 10-year security agreement that Russian officials, including Putin, called null and void. Putin blasted the Switzerland conference, just another ploy to divert everyone's attention, reverse the cause and effect of Ukraine's crisis, and set the discussion on the wrong track. His proposal came in a speech at the Russian Foreign Ministry and was aimed at what he called a final resolution of conflict rather than freezing it, and stressed that the Kremlin is ready to start negotiations without delay. Now, there you have it. But then we go around and we offer a $50 billion loan. We're paying their salaries, we keeping their business afloat. While there was a documentary, they partying every Friday, they bars full. Oh, they having a good old time. And this Zelensky done bought a mansion and a yacht over here. Oh, they just spending that money. And how much is that money being funneled back to these politicians here? These they crooked. They all need to go. Both Republicans and they all need to go except for a few. Broader demands for peace that Putin listed include Ukraine's recognition of Crimea as part of Russia, keeping the country's non nuclear status, restricting its military force, and protecting the interests of Russian speaking population. All of these should become part of the fundamental international agreements, and all Western sanctions against Russia should be lifted, Putin said. We're urging to turn this tragic page of history and to begin restoring step by step the unity between Russia and Ukraine and in Europe in general. Putin's remark made to a group of somber foreign military officials represented a rare occasion in which he clearly laid out his conditions for ending the war in Ukraine, but it didn't include any new demands. The Kremlin has said that Kyiv should recognize its territorial gains and drop its bid to join NATO. But Ukraine's foreign minister called Putin's plan manipulative, absurd, and designed to mislead the international community, undermine diplomatic efforts aimed at achieving a just peace, and split the unity of the world majority around the goals and principles of the UN Charter. Besides wanting to join NATO, Ukraine demands that Russia withdraw its troops from all its territory, including Crimean Peninsula that was illegally annexed in 2014, restoring its territorial integrity, holding Russia accountable for war crimes, and paying rep- reparations to Kyiv. Russia launched its full scale invasion February 2022 after Ukrainian forces thwarted a Russian drive to the capital. Much of the fighting has focused in the south and east, and Russia illegally annexed regions in the east and south, although it doesn't fully control any of them. There you have it. But why? Because this administration is warmongers. The powers that be are warmongers. They make money on both sides of the war, and they fund both sides of the war. They always have. And that's how the Rothschilds, this is how the Rockefellers have always made their money. War is money in the powers that be pockets, while it destroys the lay persons or the laymen or the little man. I thought that was real interesting this week. Meanwhile, Tyson Foods suspends executive after second alcohol-related arrest. John Tyson, a fourth-generation member of Tyson family business, was charged driving intoxicated again, and he is the CFO of the company. So they had suspended John Tyson for his second DUI. Well, I guess running a corporation can make you drink, huh? There is a class action lawsuit against Capital One. I need to be getting on this, so let me see how I can get my settlement. Capital One customers have 5 days to check their stats for a piece of a $16 million settlement. Customers wishing to exclude themselves from this object of settlement claim have until Monday to submit a written objection. Eligible customers who do not include it will automatically receive a settlement. Shoot, I got to get on this. Let me see how I apply. Well, I'm going to have to do this extra, so I got to keep this up. Hmm I need to get in on. I need every little piece of money I can get. Okay. Lita James, I can't stand her. I cannot stand her. New York going to hell in a basket. The legal migrant killed them two people, American citizens last week, and all she been worried about Donald Trump. However, she did receive $102 million lawsuit win that is going to be distributed to the citizens of New York and the settlement funds from the electronic cigarette maker Juul Labs. So she gets a credit for that. You know how they gonna distribute that money. So Department of Homeland Security still being questioned. Mayorkas, he is awful on all the illegal immigrants and that poor piss poor border bill that Biden did. They can stop the border after 2,500 people. They still coming. They still coming. It's unbelievable. But he's being questioned again on the mass amnesty for asylum seekers. So now they trying to do a hurry up mass amnesty for them to make them U.S. citizens so they can vote. And this includes Attorney General Garland. Yep, that hundreds of thousands of migrants are receiving mass amnesty. If this ain't some bull crap, I don't know what you call this. This is awful. This is awful. And half of them ain't gonna make it here. They going to suffer. And if you got money in the bank, you better diversify and pull your money out. 63 banks was failing last week. And they gave me such a hard time about my 401k money. This might be the last time. If you got money in your pull it out and put it up because you may not be able to get it. A popular regional bank is closing 22 branches. Oh, they about to do a merger. A popular regional bank is closing 22 across New Jersey thanks to a merger. The tie-up is between Provident and Lakeland banks, valued at 1.3 billion, has caused the closure of 22 locations. Closures are happening when the two banks have branches very near each other. So here we go with another loss of jobs. The decision to shut down the branches was made after a comprehensive review aimed at optimizing customer service, according to Provient website. Alan Bragg appears to, but he didn't show up the other day to Jim Jordan's request to oversee um, those 34 charges that Trump was convicted of. So now they're bringing him forth through the House. He did not show up, but now he agrees to appear before the House Judiciary Committee following Trump's sentencing. So let's see if he goes. Diddy's case takes an unexpected turn with FBI informant allegations by a major music executive. I'm trying to bring it up. Let me see. Oh, Suge Knight, founder of Death Row. Oh, he is confirming that Diddy is an FBI informant. Ooh. And said he's been an informant for a long time. Suggesting this was the reason behind the recent federal raids on Diddy's property. Hold on. In the podcast, Knight claimed that everyone in Diddy's circle was aware of his supposed informant status. Knight's remarks include naturally Puffy been an FBI informant forever, as they would say. That's why it's different when it comes to him. He further added everybody in his crew knew about it. The BITCHs he dates knew about it. Everybody knew about it. So don't push away from it now. Those are serious allegations. Wow. So that's supposed to be true. And that stupid mayor in Chicago, Brandon John, one of the worst mayors in history. So he is embroiled in controversy because of the 30K in campaign funds that he spent on his hair and makeup in 1 year. Hair and makeup in 1 year. Well, what you call that thing? Mohawk Brandon. Mohawk. Mm. JP Morgan Chase Bank of America Wells Fargo customer lose $456 million in 1 year to a dirty loot. Ooh, to Zelle. The Zelle scams. So they lost 456 million to Zelle. They said they are failing to protect customers for hundreds of millions of dollars in scams and fraud through Zelle. 36 arrested in massive California drug trafficking bust with ties to the Sonora cartel. Well, let's see how far that go. Oh shoot, something happened. Discard, discard. Um, Authorities announced 36 people were arrested in a massive bust targeting a California-based drug trafficking network. Well, I know one thing, they better not talk. And it's the Shinola cartel. The fentanyl methamphetamine distribution network operated in Imperial Valley and and involved drug trafficking, firearms, and money laundering offenses. More than 400 law enforcement officials were involved in the arrest of 36 suspects. Search warrants were served in 25 locations: Los Angeles, San Diego, Imperial County, Fresno, Phoenix, Arizona, Salem, Oregon. And then they confirmed 11 additional suspects remain on the run. U.S. Border Patrol agent Alexander Grinley was arrested for allegedly methamphetamine trafficking. Wow, Border Patrol. The drug network operated across multiple locations, including Brawley, El Centro, Westmoreland, Imperial, Cali, Mexico, Neyland, Hartville, Calipatria, Mexicali, Mexico. And you should see all these drugs. Wow. So they got over 4 kilograms of fentanyl, which amounts to 2 million fatal overdoses, more than 324 grams of methamphetamine, significant quantities of cocaine, heroin, 52 firearms, including handguns and rifles. Agents have been dismantling operations years across several previous busts. Let me see. There's a class action lawsuit against Tyson Foods. How long have I been on it? Okay. Oh, it's against Tyson Foods and the company buying its Dexter processing plant. The civil action filed on behalf of 45 people accuses the companies of being involved in a fraudulent scheme that devastates the region. Oh, that's when they closed that plant and laid off the 1,200 people and said that they were hiring 52,000 migrants and giving them housing, lawyers, English speaking classes, and all that. So this is what this is coming from. Wow. I hope they win. Okay, I'm all in a few minutes here. IRS issues warning to millions of older Americans. Oh, oh, I gotta edit that out. Excuse me. That was terrible. Oh, I gotta edit that out. Oh, I should have stopped it. But anyway, the IRS has issued a warning about a range of schemes using fear and deceit to exploit elderly Americans. The government agency has identified a concerning trend where fraudsters are impersonating IRS agents to target unsuspecting individuals. Americans elderly are being tricked into making immediate payments through unorthodox methods such as gift cards or wire transfers under pretense of resolving fictitious tax liabilities or securing false refunds, the IRS warned June 12th. Wow. So in New York, they looking for two people. They found one who burnt the American flag and the Israeli flag in Times Square. So they caught one. These are the migrants. We got terrorists all over this country. I'm just waiting for the BBs to start dropping. Start dropping them. Map shows fault off a west coast that could trigger earthquake and 100 feet high tsunami killing 10,000 people. There's an underground fault line that could trigger a catastrophic earthquake that could cause a 100 feet tsunami. Should the West Coast fault line shift, it would cause a 9 magnitude earthquake, far worse than the big one which hit California. The 600-mile fault line will cause carnage from southern Canada to northern California. Not only will an earthquake event leave thousands dead and more injured, but it should hit the West Coast, then a tsunami will cause 80 billion in damages and leave 10,000 dead just in Oregon and Washington alone. The natural disaster will see longer term deaths too, caused by diseases brought forth on contaminated waters and exposure to mass dead bodies. And that's in Revelations as well about a massive earthquake that is to come. That is in Revelations. Wow, there was an earthquake in South Carolina. I didn't know that. Overnight earthquake report in South Carolina at 4 a.m. Oh, it was a 2.2 magnitude quake that was reported just around 4 a.m. in Leslie, South Carolina, which is in York County. No one's reported injury. Oh, that was nothing, but I've never even heard of an earthquake in South Carolina. Oh, the U.S. Navy is facing its most intense combat since World War II against the Houthis from Yemen. I'm sorry, the U.S. been getting its butt they behinds beat by the Houthis in that sea. Yes, they have. Yes, they have. Oh, there's a massive heat wave coming next week, and they say that this is gonna be the hottest summer. Put on your sunscreen, stay hydrated. Oh, so now you can renew your U.S. passports online. Wow, so that's a good thing. I gotta let my friend know. But massive heat wave coming all across the United States. Wells Fargo fires over a dozen points for allegedly fake working by simulating keyboard activity. So they got something to keep hitting the keyboard like they working, and they got fired over a dozen employees. Much of Puerto Rico loses power this week. 340,000 customers without electricity after two of U.S. territories' power plants shut down. The capital, San Juan, was left without electricity as well as neighboring municipalities, including Beaumont, Cajun, and Carolina. Honey, and Puerto Rico's so hot. If I was there, honey, I wouldn't know what to do. Luna Energy will operate transmission and distribution for Puerto Rico's power authority said that on X the outage was tied to an issue with the power plant's transmission lines. Governor he condemned the outage and said he was demanding answers from Luna Engineer Puerto Rico. Wow. So I think that's all I'm gonna talk about because I want to try to. Oh, y'all know Hunter Biden was found guilty on all three. I did talk about that. Russians line up to buy US dollars as the ruble plummets after new sanctions. I don't believe that one bit. Everybody running away from the dollar. I think that is just malarkey. Oh, Kevin Spacey said he's broken. He was crying. I can't pay the bills that I owe. Well, welcome to America. Shit. There's a new COVID variant. I talked about that last week that's out there, and it's respiratory, and a lot of people coughing. I know I've been having some I mean, I know a lot of people been sick. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh, South Korea done fired shots at North Korean soldiers who crossed the border. General Motors approved new 6 billion share buyback plan. I'm gonna have to get in on that. I'm gonna have to get in on that one. All right, y'all. Like, share, subscribe, share the video. Thank you. And I'm gonna edit that part out again. I apologize. Oh, that's terrible. Have a good one. Like, share, subscribe.